Wow. Okay. Impact review. That ending was pretty damn good, but we gotta start from the beginning, and we went right into a match. I love when they do that. Honestly, it was LAX versus Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid, which when it got going, it was one hell of a match. And LAX won, and I gotta say, I've been saying this for about a couple of weeks now, that Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid are over as, especially Garza Jr. Put this dude in the X Division. After what we just saw, I would love to see him versus Low-Ki. Honestly, that would be pretty damn spectacular. I'm just gonna say this now, but LAX wins. Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid looked good, but LAX, some of the tag team moves, Santana and Ortiz, I finally got their names right, guys. It's took almost a month, or maybe even a full month now, and I've got their names right, rightfully so, because those guys are damn good. And they had a good match. They do some outstanding tag team moves, but Santana, I swear, killed Garza Jr. Or as well Laredo Kid. I don't know how I've gotten them mixed up. I have it right here in my notes, but still. So he runs up after taking him off the top rope and hits a spiked Canadian Destroyer out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell? And then Ortiz goes to the top and they get a power bomb. Well, a blockbuster power bomb. I love that finishing move. LAX, dude, I don't see anybody beating them. Like, just gonna be honest here. VOW last week when they came out, I hope that match happens, but honestly, I don't see anybody beating LAX. There's no way. Absolutely not. I don't see it happening. Yeah, I don't know. So we get kind of back again with Josh Matthews talking at the announce table about how, you know, he's better than JB, and JB's not in the crowd. That's one thing we noticed. We get that later in the show. So Magnus is going around back, basically, I don't know, basically saying that the Bruce Pritchard regime is costing him titles and stuff like this. It's really killing Impact. Kind of the same way EC3's been saying things, which I'm interested in what happened tonight. I'm interested to see what goes on there. A little confused, but we'll get to that. So, we got the Braxton Sutter versus Congo Kong. Originally, when they were promoting it on Twitter, and what they said last week, I thought it was going to be a mixed tag between Congo Kong and Laurel Van Ness versus Braxton Sutter and Alley. Well, that doesn't happen. And I gotta say, this was actually turned out to be a good match. So, Sutter got some decent moves in on Congo Kong. Those pump kicks were insane. But when he comes up and tries to hit a third off the freaking turnbuckles, and Congo Kong completely squashed him like a bug. Then turns around and hits this insane, I don't even know if it was a power slam or a pile driver. I don't know, but it destroyed him. Then Congo Kong gets the victory. So here comes KM and Sienna. Yeah, Sienna brings in Allie, forces her to watch. And out of all people to make the save was freaking Mahabali Shira. I gotta say, I'm alright with this though, because somebody had to get involved with this. Why the hell is it gonna be Sutter and Alley versus all four of them? And it makes sense to get him involved when they're headed to India soon. And I've gotta say, I've seen some of the Explosion and some of the one night onlys. Just a couple. Like I don't buy much, but when I do, it's usually. Well, I actually usually don't buy them. I just see the highlights on YouTube, whatever. But some of the things I've seen Mahabali Shira after, he's improved. So this should be an interesting feud for him to get into, especially since they're headed to India soon. And let's just see where this goes. That's where I've been sitting at with this rivalry. Where the hell is it going? What is going on? So yeah, that's interesting. I guess I can say, yeah, okay. So we go back, and Karen is now being interviewed by whatever her name is, Mackenzie Mitchell. I forget her name every time, and she announces a match for next week: Alicia and Eddie Edwards versus Davey and Angelina. Now, from what I can recall, Eddie is injured. He was on crutches last week, and then again, fucking Davey destroyed him with the crutches. So, who the hell knows at this point? But, yeah, I don't know. And what happens again is, here comes Magnus, pushes her aside, and we're going to come back from commercial break. He's at the commentary booth for the James Storm versus EC3. At first, I didn't expect this match to happen. I thought they were going to, fight before the bell, or it was going to get thrown out quick. It didn't. This match actually turned out to be pretty good. It did get thrown out, but it took a while. So, the first part where everybody thought it was going to get thrown out was when James Storm lets the fans hold EC3 where he gets the belt. It looks like he was going to hit him with the belt, and here comes Magnus to stop it all. I'm like, okay. That's why he's out, and he's been talking kind of the same as EC3 about this new regime. He stops James Storm. Bruce Pritchard comes out and makes him go to the back so this match can still, happen. Well, after a pretty decent match, these two were beating the shit out of each other. EC3 gets the belt, tries to hit him again, and instead kills Brian Stifler. He's dead. He's not coming around anymore. He beat the shit out of him with the belt. And all the security comes out, and it looks like James Storm finally going to do it because he hit the backstabber, and he looked like he was going to go ahead and use the belt on EC3. But here is Magnus to stop it, and I'm like, okay. But then, when I'm thinking that they're going to be a team and they're going to make a faction going forward, no. Bruce Pritchard comes out, makes a 3-way match for next week for the #1 contendership. Pump the brakes, though. I really remember hearing clearly last week that Alberto El Patron is pretty much going to have the shot at Bobby Lashley now, right? So why the fuck are we making the #1 contenders match here? Unless next week Alberto's going to insert himself in the match. That it confused the shit out of me. I don't really know what's going to happen there. That's the one thing I was big time confused about this week. I thought Alberto El Patron had the match against Bobby Lashley. Now, one of these three could have the match against Bobby Lashley, but then where's El Patron? What the hell? Honestly. So, excuse me there, guys. But, the one thing I hated about tonight was we had not backstage. It was the vignettes of Rockstar Spud saying he's going to get revenge on Hornswoggle. I have hated this whole thing. I don't know why they're making Spud do this with Swoggle. He has had some amazing matches. He had a pretty damn good match against Kurt Angle. So making him go out and do this hysterical shit against Swoggle, I don't like it. I'm just gonna be honest here. Whatever at this point with that. That's the one big gripe about the show I had was the confusion with the world title scene and then this Rockstar Spud shit. So we get Sienna versus ODB, which actually turned out to be a pretty decent match. They were going back and forth, and it turned out to be a good match. There's nothing I can say about it. They were pretty competitive. I gotta say, better than ODB versus Rosemary. So this is the best match ODB's had since coming back. But Sienna does get the victory, so like I thought she would. So then we get Jeremy Borash. I was like, what the hell when he came out? Like, why? We were going pretty good. We just heard a couple things about the shit from Borash with JB and, Matthews. So I was like, okay, why? But he says that he hired an attorney and that he has made it official that he gets his spot back at the commentary booth as the lead announcer. That means, obviously, Josh Matthews has gone by. Get out of here. Done with you. But Joseph freaking Parkinson's attorney. We all know where things go from here. They told Josh Matthews to get in a tag team partner, and honestly, Impact spoiled this one themselves. If they didn't, I'm pretty sure every single major thing was going to get a hold of this. So I gotta say, that was actually pretty smart by Impact. I didn't say anything until now about it, but honestly, I feel like that was the right thing to do. That's kind of what NXT does. Every NXT signing that happens and they do this big appearance at a show, everybody finds out. So pretty much before anybody can find out, they say something about it themselves. This is just good by Impact, I gotta say. So we all know what happens there. We'll get on to the main event. Josh Matthews basically leaves to find him a partner. And we get an Ultimate X match that was really the best one we've had in like 3 years. Honest here. The hardest hitting fucking spots in the world. At first, when they were going to the first commercial break, I thought they killed Low Ki and Andrew Everett when Trevor Lee came running at him and just completely pushed the shit out of him. Both went back first against the guardrail. Again, Low Ki is kicking the shit out of everybody like normal. Okay, this sequence right here. So, Low Ki tried to knock Trevor Lee off the top rope. He ducks a stomp by Low Ki, gets off the top rope, hits Low Ki with a double stomp. Here comes Andrew Everett. Boom, Frankensteiner. Gets back up, tries to hit another one. Trevor Lee with the powerbomb. I freaking love that part. That happens like, what the hell? And then, of all things, Gregory Helms is fucking hit a top rope neck breaker on Andrew Everett, while Low Ki was stuck in the rails of, like the big beams of the Ultimate X. I was like, what the hell was that? But then Low Ki quickly got his ass out of there with an enziguri. So Low Ki scales the beams, the things to get up to the top of the X Division Ultimate X match, and Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee are on the ropes crawling across. Low Ki comes right through the middle, boom, stomp to the face of Trevor Lee, booms 2 stomps to the face of Andrew Everett. They're off, and Low Ki retains. Damn, was that a good X Division match. Since Low Ki's been back, it's been almost a month now, and he's had 2 really good matches. Honestly, I'm going to say this now. I think they lead to a Sanjay Dutt versus Low Ki at Slammiversary. I put my money on that one. I would love to see that match. All the thing with the eyes and, him getting his eye kicked the fuck out. This would be it's been a great story, and I think seeing it culminate at Slammiversary would be great. But we've got a while to Slammiversary, so with that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button. Tell me what you thought of the show in total down in the comments below. And I am out. Thank you so much for watching.